This is Class 4 of FFA market swine. These animals range in weight from 270 pounds to 300 pounds. Our first exhibitor is Carly Love of Campbell FFA. Our second exhibitor is John Garahan of Campbell FFA. The third exhibitor is Aidan Reed of Gilroy FFA. The fourth exhibitor is Haley Sulia of Gilroy FFA. And our fifth exhibitor is Maya Bamelara of Campbell FFA.
We get into our heavyweight class here on the FFA side, and I think there's a pretty close pair of them on the top end, and that has nothing to do with being similar by any means. And with that, I think if a guy starts weighing things out and putting his priorities in motion there, I think that the best true market hog in terms of true productivity, muscle merit, and just lean shape is the young man's thin-belted barrow that starts our class. This guy's ultra big-chested, huge-bladed, and just opens up with so much turn and curvature through his forerib and upper body shape. Here's one that's ultra big and powerful through his upper hip, and one that's extremely wide and opened up underneath. He certainly isn't one that's perfect by any means. One that kind of wants to get a little pinched in his loin and just wants to swivel out of his hip and his hind leg. And I'll be the first to tell you that I don't deem his squareness from behind to be perfect, but I think relative to his contemporaries, he's plenty square enough. And when we get him in motion, he's one of the more flexible, easier striding barrows in class that I think wins this class. And it's pretty close up top, but his extra product, shape, and width are what make him be the winner in this particular drive. Now, like I said, I think it's close up top, and the Yorkshire appearing barrow that we're going to go ahead and put in second easily is the best in class in terms of squareness of build, flexibility, and range of motion. I think he easily holds those advantages. He's one that's fairly practical in terms of his rib. I think he has enough muscle content. It's just from a shape and expression standpoint where I'm a little concerned. One that's just a little plainer and not as creased up in terms of shape down his back. And we get in behind him, he comes a shot plainer and flatter there down into his lower hip and his stifle. And as you'd expect, he isn't one that tracks with the kind of width and power of one that's just a little bit narrower, built up high. But like we said before, one that's plenty square. He's the most athletic and mobile when we ask these things to drive. One that's just pushing a little extra fat, isn't as expressive, and could just benefit from a shot more width through his lower skeleton. Lots of different shapes and sizes when we get into the remaining trio of hogs, and though he's probably not the most attractive and extended from his blade forward, I'd pretty easily side with the Berkshire barrow to land there in 3. I think when you just study the basics of width, body volume, and true muscle merit and content, he's the only one available left that still does all 3 of those things. One that is certainly appreciate his extra blade shape. He's stout in his feature. If we're going to get picky on this guy, he is a little bit deeper tying in his neck and gets a shot coarser and plainer about his jawline and skull shape. He could easily be freshened up, I think, in terms of just hard, true shape out of the back of his shoulder. But of the remaining trio, total muscle content, body volume, and width are all 3 things that land in his advantage. After that, I think it gets pretty easy to go ahead and slide the thin-belted barrow in 4. He's one that's really athletic in terms of flexibility and range of motion. One that's plenty level in his top line. Quite frankly, it doesn't matter if he's coming or going or even from the side. Just need to see more hog there. He's one that's just a shot flatter and narrower in his build. Just needs to be truer and more expressive from a muscle standpoint. And after that, we go ahead and round out the class with the young lady's blue speckled up hog. One that certainly is you can appreciate for being long-bodied, and one that's athletic in his build. Just one that maybe looks a little further back in time in terms of just style and balance. Like to shorten him up in his length of body, open him up through his lower skeleton, and just see him more aggressive and powerful from a muscle content and shape standpoint, but a nice functional kind to go ahead and round out.